Have you ever wondered why some people quietly build their fortune while others keep struggling without results? Imagine someone who never shows off, someone who works in silence, step by step, carefully, and yet, year after year, they move ahead of everyone else. Now, what if I told you that this person might be a Virgo? Yes, the perfectionist of the Zodiac. But here's the shocking part: Virgo's perfectionism isn't just about being neat or organized. It's a powerful psychological engine, a hidden drive that pushes them to success without anyone noticing. In today's video, we're going to explore a different side of Virgo. Not the typical hard-working label you often hear, but the deeper, emotional, and psychological reasons why Virgo's silent habits, their critical thinking, their constant self-improvement, actually lead them to wealth. If you're a Virgo, or someone close to a Virgo, stay with me. Because what you'll discover today might change how you see yourself, or them. And, before we dive deep, if you enjoy content about astrology, psychology, and self-growth, take a moment to subscribe to the channel. Hit like, and share this video with someone who needs to hear it. Ready? Let's uncover the silent millionaire inside Virgo. Have you ever caught yourself overthinking, replaying every scenario in your mind, trying to predict what could go wrong? If you're a Virgo, or if you know one, that probably sounds familiar. People often say overthinking is a weakness, but what if I told you it's actually a hidden power? You see, Virgo's mind works like a chess master, always planning, always calculating, seeing 5, 10, even 20 steps ahead. While others rush into decisions, Virgos pause. They analyze, they prepare, and in that quiet, careful analysis, they build something powerful, the ability to predict outcomes that others can't even imagine. Think about it. In business, in finances, even in personal relationships, this kind of mental preparation isn't hesitation, it's strategy. Virgos don't just react to life, they anticipate it. And in a world where everyone's racing forward blindly, being able to foresee the obstacles can be the difference between failure and fortune. But where does this silent power come from? It comes from within, from a voice that only Virgos hear. That constant, nagging inner critic. You know the one, the voice that tells you, you could do better, this isn't perfect yet, fix it before someone notices. Most people try to silence that voice. They think it's holding them back. But for Virgo, that voice is the engine. It's what drives them to improve every single day. Picture a Virgo working late at night, refining a project long after everyone else has given up, not because they're forced to, but because their inner critic won't let them settle. That's not weakness. That's self-mastery. Every doubt, every correction, every tiny adjustment, it's shaping them into something stronger, more skilled, more precise. And when it comes to building wealth, whether through a business, a career, or personal investments, that relentless push to refine and improve becomes their greatest advantage. Now, let's talk about emotions. People often see Virgo as emotionally distant, cold even. But here's the truth. Virgo's emotional restraint is not a lack of feeling. It's a form of discipline. Imagine being in the middle of a financial crisis. Most people panic. They make decisions based on fear or hope, but not Virgo. Virgo steps back, breathes, thinks. Their emotions are carefully managed, like a river channeled between two strong banks. This ability to remain calm, to stay logical even when emotions are screaming, allows Virgo to make clear, rational decisions. They don't gamble on hunches, they don't invest out of excitement. They calculate, they assess. And that's why, when others are swept away by emotional waves, Virgo stays steady. Picture a trader in the stock market, watching prices crash. While others sell in panic, Virgo waits, watches, then moves, strategically, when the time is right. That's not coldness. That's emotional intelligence. a quiet strength hidden behind a calm face. But perhaps the most misunderstood trait of Virgo is their obsession with order. People assume it's just about neat desks and color-coded schedules. But that's missing the deeper truth. Virgo's need for external order is really about internal chaos. Inside, Virgo's mind is constantly analyzing, questioning, and worrying. The outer world becomes a reflection of the inner. By organizing their surroundings, Virgos are trying to create peace within themselves. That perfectly arranged desk? That carefully planned calendar? It's not just about control, it's about survival. It's how they manage their anxiety, how they create a space where their mind can function without drowning in uncertainty. And in that organized space, their best ideas are born. That's where strategies are mapped out, where dreams become step-by-step plans. If you've ever wondered why a Virgo seems obsessed with small details, understand this: every detail fixed outside is one less worry haunting them inside. And in that clear, structured environment, they build the foundations of their future success. So next time you meet a Virgo quietly arranging their papers or rethinking a decision for the 10th time, remember, it's not hesitation, it's not nervousness, it's power, silent, methodical, relentless. And it's this inner world, the constant analysis, the demanding inner critic, the controlled emotions, and the need for order that shapes Virgo's path to wealth, not through luck, but through careful, conscious mastery of both their environment and their mind. And maybe, just maybe, that's something we all could learn from. Have you ever noticed how Virgo always seems to learn from the mistakes of others, without saying a word? They're not the type to give loud advice or boast about their wisdom. Instead, they watch. Silently, patiently. When someone else fails, Virgo takes notes. Not on paper, but in their mind. They study where things went wrong, what decisions led to disaster, and most importantly, how to avoid making the same mistake. It's like they're constantly building a secret library of life lessons, drawn not just from their own experience, but from everyone around them. This quiet observation isn't passive, it's active learning. And over time, it turns Virgo into someone who rarely stumbles where others fall, because every failure they've witnessed becomes a stepping stone in their own silent path to success. But why are they so cautious? Why do they hesitate before every big move? The answer lies deeper than simple fear. Virgo carries a quiet discomfort with uncertainty. They're not trying to control everything out of obsession. They're trying to protect themselves. Think of it like standing at the edge of a foggy road. While others charge ahead, Virgo waits for clarity. They map the road before they step forward. This discomfort with not knowing the outcome leads them to break every goal into smaller, manageable steps. They don't ask, "How can I become rich overnight?" Instead, they ask, "What's the next logical step? And after that? And after that?" This methodical mindset doesn't slow them down. It protects them from rushing into disaster. It gives them a clear direction when others wander aimlessly. And in life, as in business, the one who knows their next step is the one who reaches their destination. Now, imagine Virgo applying their critical thinking, not just to external situations, but to themselves. That same voice that questions every plan, it questions their worth too. Virgos constantly evaluate themselves, their skills, their abilities, their flaws. It can feel exhausting, even painful. But this self-criticism shapes them into experts. Every weakness becomes an area for growth. Every flaw, an opportunity to improve. They scrutinize their ideas like a scientist checks an experiment, not with emotion, but with precision. So when Virgo makes a financial decision, it's as if they're analyzing their own identity. Every investment, every business move, every opportunity is examined not just for profit, but for how it reflects on who they are. It's personal. This depth of reflection ensures that Virgo rarely makes careless decisions. Their money doesn't just represent wealth. It represents their journey of self-mastery. And yet, on the outside, Virgo rarely looks ambitious. They don't flaunt their goals. They don't talk endlessly about their dreams. They observe, quietly, humble, modest. But inside, there's a burning desire to succeed. Virgo's silence isn't a lack of ambition. It's a strategy. By staying unnoticed, they can watch the market, study the competition, analyze people's behavior. They gather information while others waste energy seeking attention. In this quiet space, Virgo plans their next move, carefully, precisely. And when the moment is right, they act, not loudly, not dramatically, but with precision that changes everything. It's the power of the silent builder, the one who rises without noise, until they're standing at the top. So, what can we learn from all of this? Maybe it's not always the loudest person who wins. Maybe wealth and success don't always follow noise and show. Sometimes, the quiet observer, the careful planner, the person who doubts themselves just enough to grow, that's the person who builds real success. Slowly, steadily, invisibly. But the journey isn't over yet. Because in the next part of this video, we'll dive into the final 3 traits of Virgo, the ones that reveal their deepest fears, their hidden strengths, and perhaps the most controversial truth of all about why Virgo might secretly be destined for wealth. Stay with me. The most surprising insights are still to come. Have you ever met someone who seems completely focused on helping others, yet somehow they keep succeeding quietly in their own life? That's Virgo. Their drive to serve is not just about kindness, it's also a hidden strategy for success. When Virgo works, they don't think, how can I get more for myself? Instead, they think, how can I solve someone's problem? How can I make this easier, better, smoother for someone else? And because they think that way, people trust them, people come back to them, people rely on them. In business, this creates loyal customers. In life, it creates strong partnerships. Virgo doesn't need to chase opportunities. They build relationships that naturally open doors. It's not just service, it's service with intention. And in the long run, that quiet desire to help others builds something most people overlook: a reputation. A silent but powerful magnet that draws wealth without needing to scream for it. But what drives this service mindset? Often, it's fear. Virgo's practicality isn't just a preference, it's a survival instinct. Somewhere, deep inside, Virgo carries a fear of failure. A fear that if they let go of control, if they stop planning, everything might fall apart. This fear can feel heavy, but instead of freezing, Virgo uses it as fuel. While others crumble under pressure, Virgo gets to work. They plan more carefully. They check every detail twice. They work harder than anyone else in the room. Not because they feel superior, but because they're afraid of what might happen if they don't. And in this relentless drive to avoid failure, they create success. It's a paradox. Fear becomes their engine. The voice that whispers, "You can't afford to fail," pushes them to build a future where failure is no longer a threat. Now, you might wonder, if Virgo is so careful, so practical, so afraid of chaos, how do they innovate? The answer is subtle. Virgo doesn't chase wild, risky ideas. They look for small imperfections, little cracks in the system, and then, silently, they fix them. Imagine someone walking into a messy room. While others panic or give up, Virgo starts tidying one corner, then another, then another. Slowly, the entire space transforms. That's how Virgo innovates. Not by breaking the system, but by refining it, one quiet improvement at a time. And in business, that matters. In a world where everyone wants to disrupt everything, Virgo offers something different: stability, improvement, quiet reliability. And clients, customers, and investors value that more than flashy promises. But perhaps one of Virgo's most underrated abilities is how they read people. Virgos notice things others miss. The subtle changes in tone, the small shifts in behavior, the patterns hidden inside the chaos of human emotions. They watch, they learn, and slowly, they start to predict. Not just what a market will do, but what people will do. This ability isn't magic, it's the result of years spent observing, analyzing, understanding. Whether it's recognizing a customer's hidden need, sensing when a business partner might back out, or identifying when a market is about to shift, Virgo sees the signs before others do. Their analytical mind blends with emotional observation. And in that combination lies power. Power to act before the crowd moves. Power to pivot, adapt, and succeed. Think of it like this. While most people look at life as random events, Virgo sees patterns. And in those patterns, they find answers. Answers that lead to better decisions, smarter investments, stronger relationships, and over time, steady, sustainable wealth. All of this might sound too calm, too methodical, too slow, but that's Virgo's secret. While others rush ahead, they build quietly. While others chase trends, they invest in foundations. And while others wonder why success always feels out of reach, Virgo is already halfway there, without needing to announce it. But we're not finished yet. In the next part of this video, we'll uncover the final 3 truths about Virgo, and they are perhaps the most surprising, the most emotional, and maybe even the most controversial reasons why Virgo, despite all their quietness, might be destined to become one of the most successful signs of the entire zodiac. Stay with me. What comes next will challenge how you see Virgo forever. Have you ever noticed how Virgo rarely spends without thinking twice? While others might be tempted by impulse or emotions, Virgo treats every dollar like a tool. Every small expense is weighed, considered, evaluated. It's not about being stingy. It's about making every resource count. Virgo has a practical mind, always searching for value. If something doesn't serve a purpose or contribute to their long-term goals, they let it go. Picture someone in a store, standing silently for minutes, just thinking, analyzing whether that purchase makes sense. That's Virgo. Every financial choice is deliberate. Every investment feels personal. They understand one simple truth. Every small leak drains the ship. And so, they tighten every bolt, patch every crack, ensuring their financial ship sails steady, strong, and without waste. But where does this careful approach come from? It's rooted deep in Virgo's emotional landscape. Beneath their practicality, Virgo constantly measures their own worth, not just in money, but in skills, in achievements, in contributions. They carry an invisible checklist inside their mind, evaluating themselves constantly. This might sound exhausting, and it island, but it's also powerful, because every time they see a gap, they work to close it. Every weakness becomes a lesson. Every mistake becomes a blueprint for improvement. This tendency to evaluate isn't judgment, it's growth. Virgo sees self-worth as something built, not something given, and so, they build. Day after day, choice after choice. They turn their insecurities into motivation, into discipline, into success. And yet, they rarely talk about this process. While others seek applause for their progress, Virgo stays quiet. Their modesty isn't just a personality trait, it's a strategy. By staying humble, they stay unnoticed. And in that quiet space, they can think clearly, watch patiently, act strategically. Their silence allows them to gather information without interference, to move without resistance. It's the calm of the hunter waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Modesty hides ambition, but make no mistake, the ambition burns deep. Virgo doesn't seek validation, they seek results. And when the time is right, they move precisely, efficiently, successfully. Now, let's go deeper. Virgo's practicality often seems cold from the outside, but in reality, it comes from fear. Fear of instability. Fear of losing control. Fear of being unprepared when life throws the next challenge. That fear, however, doesn't paralyze them. It drives them to plan, to strategize, to optimize every corner of their life. Virgo's careful money management, their tendency to avoid extravagance, their focus on stability, it's all a way of creating safety, financial safety, emotional safety, life safety, and this constant search for safety leads them to invest not in quick wins, but in long-term security. Virgo understands that true wealth isn't about luxury, it's about peace. Peace of mind, peace of future, peace in knowing that whatever comes next, they're ready. But perhaps the most fascinating truth is this: Virgo's identity is often intertwined with their financial choices. When Virgo builds something successful, it's not just a business win. It's personal. It's proof that their methods work, that their discipline matters, that who they are is enough. Money, for Virgo, becomes more than currency. It becomes a reflection of self-mastery. Every investment is a reflection of their inner progress. Every financial decision carries the weight of their personal journey. That's why failure cuts deeper for Virgo, and why success feels like inner peace. Think about this in your own life. Do your financial choices reflect your values, your fears, your goals? For Virgo, the answer is always yes, because every part of their external life mirrors their internal world. And this connection between mind, emotions, and practical life is what makes Virgo unique. They don't separate who they are from what they do. Their discipline isn't just a method, it's an identity, and that identity leads them, slowly but steadily, toward real, lasting success. But our journey isn't finished yet, because the final 3 truths about Virgo will reveal something even deeper. In the next part of this video, we'll explore why Virgo's greatest weaknesses might actually be their strongest tools for building quiet, unstoppable wealth. And we'll uncover the controversial reason why Virgo could be the most underestimated millionaire of the Zodiac. Stay with me. The final insights might just change how you see everything. Have you ever watched a Virgo work? Not just for a day, but over months, maybe years. What you'll notice is something many people miss. Virgo doesn't rush success. They don't seek instant results. Instead, they show up every day, quietly, consistently. While others celebrate big wins, Virgo celebrates progress, small, steady, invisible steps that compound over time. Their work ethic isn't about perfection alone, it's about rhythm, about discipline, about doing what needs to be done, even when no one's watching, even when motivation fades. That's their real strength. Because when life tests them, Virgo doesn't break. They keep going, like water shaping stone. Slowly, surely, unstoppably. And behind that relentless work ethic, there's something even deeper. Attention to detail. To Virgo, details aren't small. They're everything. It's in the way they check every document twice before signing. It's in how they plan each step before investing money. It's in the quiet moments when they pause, think again, and ask themselves, is this really the best way? Their attention to detail protects them. It sharpens them. It saves them from careless mistakes that others regret later. Think of a craftsman shaping a masterpiece. Every tiny cut matters. Every angle is deliberate. That's Virgo's approach to life. And that's why their success is never by accident. It's built, piece by piece, carefully, deliberately, until one day, without realizing it, they've created something extraordinary. And perhaps you recognize yourself in these words. Or maybe you know someone who lives like this. Someone who doesn't shout about their goals. Someone who moves quietly, but always forward. If you do, you've seen the power of Virgo's method. It's not dramatic, it's not loud, but it works. And now, as we come to the end of this journey, maybe you're realizing something important. Success doesn't always come from grand visions or bold risks. Sometimes it grows in silence, in discipline, in patience. Virgo's story reminds us that small efforts matter, that daily progress is worth more than momentary victories, and that being steady, being thoughtful, being quietly relentless is its own kind of strength. So, if you see yourself in this story, remember, you're not alone. Keep building, keep refining, keep believing that your quiet work, your careful planning, your steady hands are leading you somewhere beautiful. And if you've felt a connection with today's video, if you've discovered something about yourself or someone you love, I hope you'll let me know. Share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear your story. And if you haven't yet, subscribe to the channel, because we'll keep exploring the hidden strengths of every zodiac sign, the truths no one tells you, the lessons life rarely teaches, and maybe, in the next video, you'll find the next piece of your journey. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. And remember, sometimes the quietest path leads to the richest destination.